sorry, Fluttershy, but I believe Applejack has made the better argument. These vampire fruit bats sound downright dreadful.
So let's get to rounding them up so that they don't destroy the rest of my orchard.
Fruit bat roundup! Fruit bat roundup!
Excuse me, but, what if instead of rounding them up, we let them have part of the orchard?
Have you lost your pest-loving mind?
They're only here because they're hungry. If we built a sanctuary for them, they could have their own apples to enjoy. After a while, they could even help the rest of your orchard. The vampire bats don't eat the seeds of the apples, and when they spit them out, they grow into even more productive apple trees.
Listen, Fluttershy, that sounds real nice and all, but every second we spend building this so-called sanctuary is a second they'll spend destroying orchard. You don't know what it was like the last time there was an infestation, but Granny Smith has told me enough stories about it that just the thought of it gives me nightmares. Granny says we lost a huge section of orchard that year. They had to ration out apples all winter.
What about the cider? There was still cider, right?
Not a drop.
No cider? No cider? We need to round up these monsters and we need to do it now!
If Granny Smith wasn't with Apple Bloom and Big Mac checking out our produce competition in Appaloosa, she'd be here telling us to do just that.
I'm sorry, Fluttershy, but I think Applejack is right. I just wish there was another way we could convince them not to eat them in the first place. Maybe there is. So there's good news and bad news. The good news is that I found a spell that can get the vampire fruit bats to stop wanting to suck the juice from the apples. But in order for the spell to work, I need the bats' full and complete attention.
Oh no.
Fluttershy, I need you to do your stare on the bats.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
What's the problem? You've used the stare plenty of times before.
Yes, but it's not something I take lightly. I've made a vow not to use it except in dire circumstances.
This circumstance is plenty dire to me.
Me too. Think of the cider. Won't some pony please think of the cider?
I'm sorry. I just don't like the idea of taking away the thing that really makes the vampire fruit bats vampire fruit bats. It just feels wrong.
But if we don't do this, there won't be any apples left for any pony here in Ponyville. Doesn't that feel wrong too?
So what's it gonna be, Fluttershy? Will you do your stare on the bats or not?
Okay, I'll do it.
Good choice. I knew you wouldn't side with those icky bats. Ah!
They're not icky.
First round of cider's on me!
Hold it right there. We gotta round up these beasts with wings first. Time's a-wasting. Every pony. I think we got them all. Now all we need is for you to do your stare.
Are you sure I really need... Okay. I really, really, really hate to do this to you. I just hope you can forgive me.
Good. Now you go, Twilight.
All right. You can stop staring, Fluttershy.
Work? Only one way to find out for sure.
Yeah! Whoa!
My crop is saved! Yeah!
We'll be drinking cider all winter long!
I want to thank you for your help. I couldn't have done it without you.
Don't mention it, Applejack. It was my pleasure. Really.
Now all we gotta do is sweep up these cores so I can start bucking fresh tomorrow morning.